is the owner of these artifacts. You cannot loan to the owner what you stole. And these laws that bar British museums and the Victoria and Albert Museum from doing the right thing, it just tells you that the laws in this country are here to serve only one demographic, okay?
For the day, on one casa, the 2 minutes na ho de na konwa kosi awowa. Asebi wo a ye ka kira kira me, ye ka kira de ote abenwa so. Ena okoji sika Fidelity Bank. Say ye mfa nwie kejetia. Tiye. KMA. If it's a wonya bindi, if it's so tumfo na akope sika. Say ye mfa nwie kejetia. Besidne go to Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, go to Benjia, came into me fan and san chassis, so Messiah Giatum. No one put a bit or 2 for the Menchia wa.
Omudia, say Topa, any home, and our fan, and Omu, a person, Unanama de Ayabefan, a baby memoir ran out tonight, Asante Etienne, or Con Jesus. The guys will be at the Wapan Fabra, yes, we are the area.
Nice GA.
So for more our platform, so name they can mess us with your notification bell, no new subscribe button, so that we are next time you drop a video be on Sabbath me akabi. Aye. Na we share ene. Many aje for baby, you may be so hammy. Yes, as I say, any JD only say you pray. Say you baby, and I say obedi 25 years on the golden throne, so dear. Kiani was say, and your man Pesco Sakoye. A British Empire, the money, Asantehene Bekunye. New Mosako, the Monsan from Ray. I'm almost home the loan ye. The loan ye. Been tested. I raise concerns, baby. I raise concerns, baby. I'm for a break, Cassa, but before I because I video, no, my video, the kind. Yeah, Captain Smart in the same year with Tuga. Yes, or the summer Tuga and summer. There be Anna Mecassa Ura, modern bar, Obama, Santema, new ma, oh yeah, a banner edge of Samba, a banner edge of Winnie. Nyoma yi reye na o secure loan ni ade de ntia kejetia phase 2 no ye nwie no wa kirem mienko ma ye ba ye betos
Kejetia phase 2 Asantehene krobi Asante kotoko hene otufo se to ababio mi gwa che bru wo South Africa mpelifo am free Ghana ko share otufo wo MPP mo South Africa mama che for the day on one casa the 2 minutes na ho de na konwa kosi awowa asebi wo a ye ka kira kira me ye ka kira de ote abenwa so ena okoji sika Fidelity Bank say ye mfa nwie kejetia tiye mimi bufu pa me kasa boko cause ebe mu a hwa me horo so to be wie show ni ntem KMA if it's a wonya bindi if it's so tumfo na akope sika say yemfa nwie KTNT besidne go to Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly go to Benjia KMA ntimi mfa nsan hyase so besanya gye atum nye omumpo na betua o tumfo de manhia si awowa but the sense wonya bindi nti omuntimi nsan ye nti kejetia phase 2 akaho ko benchane ko bisa samwa
na se ohwa chese some pa betina se omunye skani bi ni die esaleju ene nke adwuma nkense enti na bepem ne cause me am kai pa se yeru akosiki loan sa kro from die da so da ho bepem ne enye nso yeru bibie no ayeru onye me say Asantehene must go back. Asantehene must handle by the owner. I think it's be better. Meso for comment bra because the omude Asantehene dey e bro adwen nti aseso. You yento aso. Me kasa me to aso na ye say ense bebre akoso dey. Se bebre akoso ansana British for jatum so omde ade no. Omo mfa maye omde boy bosia se mfa me go bi yes. Unima omde mine for 3 years. 3 years, I'm saying go for 3 years. Now 3 years in the Quran is shame no patch say 3 years no. On bet me extending na 6 years, high exclusive. Me kwana be sanche shemu ebe ma 6 years. I'm betting my external acquisitions, but I really concerned the presenters war UK member of Ghanaian presenters, UK based, and as African presenters, or more for ye papa. Now you go to some presenter about editor. You buy better.
Ghana is the owner of these artifacts. You cannot loan to the owner what you stole. And these laws that bar British museums and the Victoria and Albert Museum from doing the right thing, it just tells you that the laws in this country are here to serve only one demographic. Okay. Hello, John. How are you?
I'm well. Now tell me, so the idea, a 3-year loan of these Ghanaian royal treasures, is this a model, a useful model for future deals to you?
Most definitely not. This isn't progressive. It's absolutely regressive. Look, it also demonstrates the height of colonial mentality that the British government in 2024, we have laws in place that allows the British government to bar these museums from giving back goods and artifacts that were stolen. Ghana is the owner of these artifacts. You cannot loan to the owner what you stole. And these laws that bar British museums and the Victoria and Albert Museum from doing the right thing, it just tells you that the laws in this country are here to serve only one demographic, okay? I mean, just think this through. The purpose of the law when it comes to theft is to punish the perpetrator and put the victim in the position they would have been in had their goods not been stolen. But these laws are doing the very opposite. It is what I call the idiocity of white supremacy. It is colonial mentality at the highest level.
Okay, let me just put this to you then. I can hear the passion in your voice. You obviously feel this very, very deeply. What about the idea of a practical compromise here that actually serves everyone's interests? We're talking about a deal. You know, of course, don't you, Shona, that under British law, it's not possible to hand these artifacts over permanently, to leave the country permanently. So a loan would allow these artifacts to appear back in your country where they originated and stay there for years, as well as, I don't know, smoothing over a problem and paving the way to better relations in the future.
What utter nonsense. And I say that with every respect. I think, John, you're trying to play devil's advocate here. So this is why I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt, all right? And I'm British Nigerian, not British Ghanaian. But on behalf of my Ghanaian brothers and sisters, absolute nonsense. Compromise in the best interest of whom exactly? This is solely in the best interest of Britain, not in the best interest of Ghana. You know what? If somebody wants to tell us that this would be a compromise, then let's do this. Why don't we take the Britain's crown jewels, take it to Ghana? We simply take it. It's not even a loan. And then as and when we choose to, in the best interest of everyone, we will loan it to you for 3 years and get it back. How about that? How is that a compromise? And when you say that the laws in this country make it impossible, again, this is utter nonsense. Laws can be changed. The laws were put in place to maintain that idiocity of white supremacy because of that colonial mentality. The laws should be changed and the artifacts should be returned to their origin, their owners. Because, I've heard some people who are clearly intellectually challenged who come up with the premise of, well, if we give it back to the owners, well, quite frankly, it means that these artifacts will lose value and they won't be able to take care of them, which again is another utterly nonsensical statement to make. If Africans, Asians had not created these priceless artifacts, put value on them and preserved them, Britain would not have found them to steal them in the first place. So who is best placed to protect these artifacts? And the true meaning of this artifact, it most definitely is not the thief, i.e. Britain, it's the owner, Ghana.
Na Osha, Nsimia. Just a black rasta and swabby chilinsemu. Also needs some about to your intima.
Look at some of these artifacts. The British came into our country. We were sitting down there quietly. We didn't even know there was any country called England. Greedily, selfishly, and wickedly, they left their comfort zone in their country and came into our country to colonize us, steal from us, and rape us, dehumanize us, and kill us summarily. That's what the British did. After stealing our gold and other artifacts and our deities, they went back to England. Now there is a very big communique there's a big discussion, there's a big convo about returning some of these things to African countries. Some countries have started doing that. I know that a lot of countries in Europe have already dispatched some of these things, and they keep a lot of these things in their museums. But England is telling Ghana a certain story. Watch this. From my Joy Online. How Ghanaians are reacting to UK's decision to loan back looted gold artifacts. Run it, my youth. Watch this. It says a section of Ghanaians are expressing their discontent following the recent decision by the UK to loan back looted artifacts to the Ashanti kingdom instead of returning them permanently. Many in Ghana are disappointed that the artifacts, which hold historical and cultural significance, are not being entirely returned. The loan agreement spanning 3 years with an option for a further 3 years were established with Otumfuo Osei-Tutu II. The items are expected to be displayed at the Manshia Palace Museum in Kumasi to celebrate its jubilee, silver jubilee. That's it. Hey, Otumfuo, remember, went to England and he pleaded with the King of England and the people of England to please return some of the artifacts, if not all, to the people of the Ashanti. Remember, in history, some of the glorious wars were fought between the Ashantis and the British in what got to be called the Anglo-Ashanti Wars. Remember Sir Charles McCarthy, whose head was chopped off and taken all the way to Manshia. The British people have not asked for the head. We wanted to see the head displayed in the Ashanti Museum in Kumasi, but it's still not displayed. We hear it's in the palace of ASANTEHENE.
Yes. That is Ubia Osha. How Ubia Sadintin Omde boy Bosiani Ade. But teacher Kantanka, or a historian or Menshia, and also a different perspective. Baby, or can free ban. Any day, or more can in a bobra. Difference in Sunsun will be. Na yenti teacher Kantanka so the animals. Ni infese make sense. Yeba, a bit was.
And no man, and none of the SSC or more yet, Chicago. And dear Bia Bruni, any class or is Capo, we are, as we are from the other boy. Yeah, a B, a ya, and then O Tombia, I said, no more of Granny's capital. No, they are to book or museum, no more give Musca. And then the Omaja said, yes, D, sir, a fashion of the eye, and the Omo is an one better. The San Omanoa or Modibaba, and non so air. Omodibano Omodia, say Topa, and the Akon, and our fa, and Omo, a person, una Nanomadia, Yabefano, the bro, Kakra, Nas have a Giapo, almost have a Giapo. Now, maybe I try to associate the do her, and you know, being so anyone, it was so fair. Also the way. So and a baby memoir brand out try Asante Etienne or Con Jesus. The guys will be at the Wapan Fabra. Yes, we are the Edinburgh. And Saturday no Abbey Yembra will be as say Adia a Kumu will be a funny. This was no free people and not the bar. No,
but not just Osha or patches, one will be cool. No, forward dear, won't mean Cassa on your day. On from this or no free pim. A son say yes, your coin, a jeans as be it's as also. Young farmer knew I say area. Not just a sabe pepena, I didn't eat you. And then they can have subscribe button or comment section and we hear me into commenting on Fabra. So it was said about free or mujad in my cry and ask on the boy was the class one. Found you mubra. Na me bonchi uno amobiaso atibi. Sabe pepena, I didn't eat you. Yes, now me Kyle say, Macodim come on interview with Green, semi bracos won't miss and semi other day. Me drop video no yamiad mochina. Yamiad mochina, into train. Na Mosavika.
There is anger. People look at it in colonial terms. Looting of items, precious items belonging to people are things that they don't easily forget.
Gold from the royal court of the Ashanti kingdom, which was once one of Africa's most powerful states. These objects and many more were looted by British troops in the Ashanti capital Kumasi in 1874 during the Third Anglo-Ashanti War. Now they're going back to Ghana for the first time in 150 years, to Kumasi's Mencha Palace Museum, in a landmark loan deal with the Victoria and Albert Museum, which bought most of them at auction at the time.
They're put on display, and they're displayed both as a work of incredible West African goldsmithery, but also as a sort of, sign of British imperial and colonial power.
17 V&A items are returning, including a peace pipe used by Ashanti kings, the ASANTEHENE, and heavy cast gold badges worn by courtiers tasked with cleansing the king's soul. The agreement is not with the Ghanaian government, but with Otumfo Osei Tutu II, the current ASANTEHENE, who once worked for Brent Council, monarch for a people whose history is steeped in gold and wealth. The deal's chief negotiator is Ivor Ajimandia.
There's so much interest in these items. These were objects that were created by the royal artisans for all sorts of ceremonial reasons. At least these objects will be home after 150 years.
The British Museum is also loaning 15 gold items, including a sword of state looted by British troops during the Anglo-Ashanti War of 1895-6. British law bans some national institutions, including the British Museum and the V&A, from permanently returning objects.
In giving a piece.
Me da so hwe yi makra.